Hi everyone.
Welcome to the Cooks Collective. Hayley and I are in our home kitchen tonight, and we are going to show you how to make some beautiful rice paper rolls, aren't we, Hals?
Yes.
So Hayley's going to start off with the making the actual orange ginger and carrot dipping sauce. So
Yes.
she's quickly going to knock that up. I'm going to help by juicing some oranges.
Knock it up.
Knock it up. Well, you're pretty good like that. So we've got for this dipping sauce, we're going to be doing orange zest. Mm-hmm. Is that it?
No, I'm going. I'm keeping on going. I'm just listening.
Well, it's not going to be any orangey at all. So orange zest. So Hayley's just doing the zest rather than the white pith on there, because the white pith's a bit bitter. So we don't want that in the actual.
Where I've zested it already.
In the actual, you don't want that bitterness in there. So I've got my juice. I'm wondering if I've got about 60 mils. I might not have, so I might need that in a minute. So we've got some carrot. We're just going to chop that up, and some fresh ginger. And all of this is going to be popped into Hayley's NutriBullet thing.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
It's a knockoff NutriBullet. But no one would know that unless you told them.
No, unless you read Nutrifusion on the front. So in goes the carrot, just chopping up the raw carrot. So everything's raw. We're not turning on the stove tonight, are we?
Not at all.
It's very.
And while we're here as well, I have got the Cooks Collective Facebook page open, so I'm going to be having a look at that and seeing if anyone's got any questions for us, while the cameraman will be relaying your questions if you're watching on the Cooks Collective website. So please, if you've got anything you want to ask us, please do, because we'll be watching and listening.
All right, so we've got 60 mils of orange juice, which is either 3 tablespoons. Standard Australian standard tablespoon measure is 20 mils, or you can measure that in your 60 mil quarter of a cup measure. So salt goes in there as well. It's about a quarter of a teaspoon, just tidying up as I go along. So just guess that in a really big pinch, because we ended up, when we were making this recipe up, we ended up putting it in a little bit more, didn't we? So we've only got like about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt flakes. So if you're using granular salt, remember it's a lot less.
Yep.
And in here we've got some water, some light extra virgin olive oil. Didn't really want to put the extra virgin in here because it's going to be too overpowering. And a couple of teaspoons of the white rice vinegar. I'll whip that in there as well. So that's the white vinegar. If you haven't got any of the Asian white vinegar, then just use white wine vinegar. In fact, you know what I said to Hayley as we were prepping up? I'd like a little bit more sharpness in this dressing.
Do you want to do a little bit more?
So you may find that if you do use a white wine vinegar, that is going to be it's going to be better than that, because it's not as sharp.
All right.
The rice vinegar is not as sharp as the white wine vinegar. Can I pass that to you and you put that over there? That would be really good. Now we're going to do a magic trick, because Hayley is going to go into this magic box here. Through the magic door.
If anyone used to come to cooking classes here, they would know what's through the magic door, wouldn't they?
That's where we used to do all the washing up when before Hayley was born. So when she comes back, I will have just started doing all of this bits and pieces, and she's got her notes there as well, and then we can move on and we can talk about all the nutrition bits and pieces. So in here I'm going to make the tuna mixture to go in here. So oh my gosh, there's 100 million different things that you can put in here, but we thought for nutrition as well as hope her mic's off, for nutrition as well as ease, one of these big tins of tuna I've popped into. I'm just squeezing out the water. I actually quite like the spring water. Some people like the oil one. Sometimes I find that just a little bit too heavy. So I've used the tuna in spring water and just squeezing the liquid out of that. Just don't worry too much about it. It needs to be nice and moist, so don't squeeze it until it's completely and utterly dry. But I just thought that was the easiest way to do. I'm just going to squish my hands over here. And so I've got our 1 minute mayonnaise in here, and I'm also going to put some salt and pepper in here. She's taken the salt. No, she's put it away. Good girl. So a few salt flakes in there as well, because we've got all these amazing vegetables which we're going to put into the the rice paper rolls as well. But so we do need to make sure that we've got the tuna nicely seasoned. You can add a bit of lemon juice in here if you want to. I feel like I sound like Ainsley Harriott. I'm glad you're back.
Hello. I'm going to pop this in the fridge.
So we've got a nice smooth whizzed up sauce. Definitely. Definitely.
So it's a little bit chunky, but Mum and I were saying that we quite like the texture.
Yeah, look at the colour. It's fab, isn't it?
And it smells incredible as well.
Does it? Is it a really good one? Yeah. Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? Nice orange. And ginger, that's what I can smell as well.
Yeah.
All right, so I've just actually divided that into half the mixture so that we know when we go and do our
take
rolls.
my rings off as well.
Yeah, okay. So I was just saying about the tuna, Hayley.
Yes.
And while Hayley's doing the tuna, I'm going to cut some carrot and some little Lebanese cucumbers into... We decided to go for chunky bits, didn't we? You can either go like on a mandolin and do it really, really small.
Preference.
Or you can have chunky bits. And I actually quite like them being a bit chunkier. So while I'll do this, why don't you talk about the tuna?
Okay,
why should we eat tuna? Why should we eat tuna, Hayley?
I'll let you know. One of my favourite things about tuna is that it's so easy and accessible to eat. I mean, if you're a fish person, if you like tuna, it's a great way to get your omega-3. And so I'll probably have about 2 small tins a week of tuna quite often, because I'll have it in my salads. And I was telling Mum before, I quite like the Serena tuna brand. I've tried a couple of different tuna brands and I found that this one is probably the chunkiest, and that's sort of what I like. Sometimes you get ones that are a bit mushy, and I guess it's again mushy, a preference, but I quite like the chunky ones. And my favorite flavor, while I often recommend staying away from flavorings, this honestly doesn't have anything that I'm against. The only thing is maybe they use sunflower oil and olive oil instead of just olive oil. But this is lemon, basil and chili. And what I like to do is pre-prep my salads and then take my salad undressed to...
hang on.
Undressed to uni with me.
Salad is undressed.
Yeah. Take
that always leaves the house with clothes on.
Good. Yes. Yep. Yes. Take my salad undressed to uni with me, and then just this can of tuna, and move away from people while you do this, because people don't often like the smell of tuna. But I pour the whole tin in, so it's got the oil and the flavorings in there, and then that becomes the dressing for the salad, so you don't have to worry about that sort of thing.
I've just completely stuffed up, I think. Okay, go on.
But the thing that's so great about tuna and why it's important to eat fish partly is due to its omega-3 content. So omega-3 helps prevent cardiovascular disease, it helps maintain healthy brain function, and it also helps with... we're gonna give you a fun fact to mill over in your head, but I'll just give you the answer now.
Oh, go on.
The largest organ in your body, technically, is your skin. Ta-da! So basically, I know there's no one here to react.
Oh no, I know. Woo! No. That's amazing.
But so your skin's obviously really important. And omega-3 helps keep that really beautiful texture to your skin. So anyone with dermatitis, it can actually help prevent that and help cure dermatitis quite often because of omega-3's properties. And also our body doesn't actually...
dandruff?
Yeah, it's in the same sort of family. Yeah, I'm sure it would help as
dandruff.
Well. Yeah. We don't actually create certain omega-3s in our body itself. So we don't self-synthesize them. So that's why it's important to eat them. It's like essential fatty acids. That's one of the ones that you need to eat. So it's recommended that you have 2 serves of fatty fish per week. So that's about 100 grams, like a 100 gram fillet of fatty fish. So say salmon, or a tin of tuna, like the one that I quite often have for lunch. So that's got omega-3 in it. And
do you know what I love for breakfast, or actually for dinner sometimes, is kedgeree with smoked the smoked fish, smoked haddock, I
I
think
don't
it
know
is.
if I've had kedgeree.
Oh
I probably
my
have
gosh,
if
it's
you have.
beautiful. Yes, I probably did it when you were little. I haven't cooked it for years and years and years, but I should really do that
I think
again.
the
I love
cameraman's
it.
saying that you should as well.
Yes,
Cook it
it's
again.
really nice, isn't it? Maybe we should put that onto the Cooks Collective
Okay,
at one
let's
time.
do it.
Yeah, because it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right, so what if that people don't want to use tuna in here?
Well, all sorts of other things you could put in rice paper rolls. It's kind of up to you. Bailey, my very good friend, puts all sorts of things in. She puts red onion. She's had tomato in there. It kind of depends
What about
on
protein though?
what you want to keep it. Yeah, so I'm thinking vegetarian options. We were also talking about adding vermicelli noodles would be quite nice in there as well. But in terms of protein, you can look at chicken. So you can do marinated chicken if you want to give the rice paper roll more flavour.
Like a
the chicken?
tempura or something like that?
Yeah, you could do soy, like teriyaki chicken.
Oh, not tempura, teriyaki, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I was like, tempura,
What was she
sure, if
talking
you
about?
want.
Yep.
Um,
No, don't put tempura chicken in there.
I don't know about that. Teriyaki chicken would be beautiful. I've seen people do prawns, other type of fish, tofu.
Oh, if you want to go all out as well, you could put sashimi in, couldn't you? You could put some
raw
salmon or some raw tuna
Yeah,
in there.
that would
and
be lovely.
It'd be gorgeous. And the other thing is
Nice and fresh.
if you're feeling very effluent, as Kath and Kim would say, then you'd put in the salmon pearls. The
Ooh,
salmon
yum. That would be
caviar.
beautiful texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're feeling very...
So, and that would be very, very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yes,
chat
chicken would
about
be a really
protein?
good one. Oh, we've said chicken, haven't we? Should we
Yeah.
chat about protein?
wanna
Other
chat about
protein?
protein?
Other proteins?
Protein in
or
general, or
protein?
do you
Yeah,
want-
yeah.
yeah. So I am very into protein, but I think protein is extremely important, and it is extremely important for your body. But it's... A lot of people think that protein is important if you're going to the gym or if you're an athlete, and they think about protein shakes, and you know, you'd see people have your protein shake within an hour from the gym, blah, 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 but everyone needs protein to maintain muscle mass. So again, when people think of muscles, they might think of big biceps and whatever, that sort of thing, but everyone has muscle on their body, and you need your muscles to move your body and to do things. So to maintain that muscle mass, you need to keep up your protein, and it's recommended to have 0.75 to 1 gram of protein per kilogram in your body. So say if you're a 65 kilogram
I could
person.
not work that out. Like,
I know, this
but
is sort of
on average,
yeah,
okay?
This is sort of like a rough estimate. If you're a 65 kilogram person, you're looking at consuming about 49 to 65 grams of protein per day. So one of the best ways
Sorry, 49 grams
Yeah.
to...
to 65, because it's
Can we go
0.75
50?
if you want, but
Yeah.
that was already rounded up.
Oh, okay.
So try and
Yeah,
be
I've been.
mathematically correct.
I know. I'm like, let's
Um,
round it up to 50 grams.
but
What's
if
1
you
gram
want-
between friends?
If you want an even easier way to calculate that, a lot of the time it's good to think of spreading that protein out through the day, because
Yep.
that's actually how it's best absorbed in your body. So you're looking at trying to have about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. So say in the morning, your protein source could be milk, it could be eggs, it could be ham, if you're like us and often have ham and avocado on toast.
Like nice ham that's cut off the bone, don't we?
Yeah,
Sometimes,
or
yeah.
multi-grain toast, because grain has bread in it, or
Protein.
protein grain has bread in it.
I've
Wow.
corrected, yeah. That's really
Grain
good that I
has
was
protein.
listening, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or oats, or there's yogurt, cheese, a multitude of things you can have in the morning. And then of course, if you're thinking about your meat sources of protein at lunchtime or dinner, you can have chicken, tuna, tofu if you're going veggie, chickpeas, legumes. There's a million different things, and it's really easy to just Google those and have a look. And
Yeah,
you
I always think of protein as just being meat or fish,
yeah.
rather than the chickpeas or like hummus and vegetables.
Yeah.
That's that I love that as for lunch.
Yeah,
just going
yum.
veggie, I just think it's really delicious.
Really
so,
good. But if it can be a bit tricky sometimes trying to figure out how much protein is in what.
Yes.
So you can actually give that one a Google, make sure it's a reputable source. I like using
When you
a
say how-
database.
Yeah,
Often you
how
want to
do
look
you-
for government.
okay.
government sources. So government website .gov often has, they've gone through all the scientific tests to make sure that what information they're giving you is correct. But one of the most common ones, if you think about 100 grams of baked chicken breast.
Note the cooking method, not fried,
has approximately 29 grams of protein per 100 grams of chicken. So if you were to have 100-gram chicken breast, then that would be 29 grams of protein. So that would be your approximately 30 grams of protein served done for that part. So just while we say it's got to do with the cooking method, it does alter slightly, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. So if you're going to have 100-gram chicken breast, then you're probably going to get about a serve of protein, one of your 3 serves of protein.
Okay, I'm just
setting up for me.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, so we're just about, so if you've got any protein questions, but I think you've covered it quite clearly. That's
and
really good.
One more thing I'd like to bring up as well about protein is that as you get older, you actually need more protein. So you're looking at 1.5 to 1.7 grams per kilogram of body weight, because it doesn't actually get stored the same in older people. So I'm talking about 70 plus here. But protein's important for when you're older to help prevent illness. It helps, when your cuts...
Oh, it helps healing. It helps
That's
blood clotting, and helps you. Does it help with the blood clotting, I wonder, or does it just help with the actual healing?
I'm thinking more skin.
Yeah. Okay.
So healing.
Yeah. So it's a very important thing to keep up with, isn't it?
But
this has obviously got such a lovely balance of all your vitamins and fibre and everything with the vegetables. So can we go on to the rice paper rolls now?
Yes.
We could probably do 2 at once, couldn't we? Let's go really wild. So,
been talking too much.
Yep. So what we've got here is rice paper rolls. These are the ones that you can buy at all supermarkets. And am I showing the right camera, Mr. Cameraman? I'm not used to all the cameras in. Oh, well done. So and basically they're like that. Oh, and they're brittle. So we'll just pop that one over there now, because that's the thing. But when we first tried these, we were
this
like,
is going to be fun.
Yeah, we were like, oh, it's. I used to make these, right, when I was at Mustard Catering years and years ago. I think it was at Mustard Catering, and we used to make loads of them. And we were really sort of struggling with the rice papers, weren't we? Because it does it say warm water on the packet?
A lot of places do recommend warm water.
So we went for cold. We went for cold water.
Excuse me.
Partly due to the fact that it's actually warm here in Australia at the moment as we are filming this, but also partly because they just didn't seem to sort of stick as much, did they?
No, they were sticking too much with warm water.
Yeah, so they didn't stick as much. Isn't that what I said?
With cold water.
Yes. Oh, I don't know what I said. So we found that cold water was better to do this, and we're going to put the mint on first.
I know, it's like you can have a competition with whoever you're making these with, who can make the prettiest one.
Really?
Yeah, if you want.
I didn't realise it was competition. So we've chosen to add mint into here, but you can put whatever you want in here, really, can't you? Mm-hmm. You can put, if you love, I'm going to put some orange on mine as well.
It's like make your own pizza, but make your own rice paper.
So I've got carrot, we've got purple cabbage, because I love it, it's fab. We've got avocado, and we've sort of cut it into not tiny little bits, but sort of chunkier pieces, which I'm really quite excited about. I really like this. And so it depends on what you put on the base. Oh, it's a bit long. Oh, you've fitted 2 in. It depends on what you put on the base as to when you roll it up, what shows on the top. So I've started off with the mint leaves. We're going to see some carrot as well. And we're going to also see the purple cabbage. Then I'm just going to, and it does get a little bit sort of messy, doesn't it, really, with whatever we've got on here, like because you have to really use your fingers, because we were likening it to actually making sandwiches, weren't we? You know, I can understand kids not wanting to eat crusts, because at the edge of the sandwich is where the crust is, and if you don't put the filling right towards the edge of the crust, then all you're eating is dry bread. It's just not very nice, is it? No. So I like to make sure that in every bite we're going to get a really decent sort of bite of everything. So once you've got this done, I'm looking at hers comparing. We can actually, like, we've got a finger bath here.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Keep your fingers wettish, just damp, because you'll find that will really help your fingers not to stick to the rice paper rolls. So this is the slightly tricky part to start off with, because you want to have the rolls relatively tight, but you don't want them so tight that they rip, do you, Hayley?
No.
Have you got any fantastic tips for this?
I think our tips would be the same, to be honest.
Do you? Okay.
Just...
And I think also it's funny, because if the same person does the rolling, then you'll get very similar looking rice paper rolls. But if somebody else does the rolling as well, you're going to end up with slightly different looking rice paper rolls. Can you just bring the plate over, and we'll just pop those on the plate? But the thing is that, you know, everyone's different, aren't
Everyone's
they?
different.
Everyone's
and
different. They're all
taste
special.
the same.
They're all special, and they will certainly
You
taste.
didn't put sesame seeds on yours.
Mine's without sesame seeds. So Hayley and I thought that. Oh, excuse me, itchy leg. Hayley and I thought that we would put some sesame seeds in, because that's added. Oh, yeah. So the thing that you need to remember is, when you're chatting, doing your rolls, put the next two in.
That's the one that you split. Goodbye.
No, I think I did.
Or did you split all of them?
No, I did not. No, I did not. And now we've got 3 in there.
Oh, I didn't see you put an extra one.
That's all right. So you need good communication in the kitchen, don't you? Yes. It doesn't matter. We'll whip them up now. So I actually quite like the idea of coriander in there as well, or as
I like
instead
basil.
Of mint. You like basil. You like your basil and lemon. So what dip? If you did your basil, lemon, tuna, what sort of dip would you put with that? We haven't
I mean, the carrot one would still be nice.
That. It would, but do you know what I love? Would be your soy.
Oh yeah. So whenever I make Asian dishes, I quite often make a soy, sesame oil, honey, and usually lime, but lemon works as well.
I'd like lemon with this.
Combination. So you make a little sort of dipping sauce. So that's very sort of Asian flavors. But then I have been looking at some other ones. If you do miso, something with miso would be nice.
Well, that would be lovely, because it's sort of umami and salty. You need a little bit of salt, I've found, with these.
Otherwise,
so that'd be really lovely.
If you do a bit of a
cucumber
cheats one, is if you do, if you've got mayo in the fridge, and then you just put a bit of sesame oil through it. So that's kind of like an Asian mayo, if you want like a mayo one.
Okay.
That's what I do sometimes if I feel like mayo.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Or tahini and peanuts, so it's a bit more of like a satay one, but you get tahini benefits of tahini, which is sesame or sesame.
Tahini and what else did you say?
I haven't made it yet, but peanut. So peanut butter, tahini.
Oh, peanut butter. Okay.
Maybe some warm water.
Water. Yeah, just to.
So there's salt in the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
Yeah, that would be really nice as well, wouldn't it? Like any sort of satay sauce or anything like that sort of thing would be really nice in this.
Yeah.
I might do one. Shall I do one without purple?
Okay.
She's so accommodating. I love it. I love it. Right. So rolling.
Is that just because you forgot it?
No. I just thought. I was saying how much I love the cabbage, but then I thought, you know what? Because I've tried to get some cucumber. See, look. Showing here.
Yeah,
but what you've got to remember is, as you're rolling, when you've sort of rolled over and sort of encased all the filling in the roll, then pull over each of the ends, because otherwise it'll all fall out. as you're
Big
eating.
one.
So you can actually pull them quite. You can actually pull them quite tight. And I think the thing that I really like about these as well is they're brilliant for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant for lunch. And far more exciting than a sandwich. You'll find that you'll get quite a few sort of. Oh, that's probably gone a bit.
Yeah, that one might be done for.
I might try it
Okay, give it a go.
because I can't waste it. So
Should I
it's
put
actually
two more in?
talking about it's actually quite a reasonably priced sort of meal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in a tuna.
My round
but I
one.
like making them for the next day for uni lunches,
Yeah,
which you could do for an office lunch or
yeah. You don't have
just
to be going to uni.
You don't have to be going anywhere. You could just make them and have them the next day.
You could. We're actually going to have them for dinner tonight, and
Yeah.
after it's a really warm evening here, and I think it's really lovely to do this because if you were a drinker, you could have a number of glasses of wine while you're rolling them, couldn't you?
You
Or
could.
I know someone who's had a couple of G&Ts tonight. Not mentioning any names, but he's not on film. So he's been having a lovely time. All right, so we're rolling. And other veggies, have we discussed that? Oh, look, now I'm putting 2 lots of...
Well, I
Just
was saying
pay
that Bailey's
attention.
put red onion in hers before. She's put
I like the
tomatoes.
vermicelli noodles as well, but they
Yeah.
can be quite slippery, so you've got to be a little bit...
Did we talk about sort of the texture that you want when you pull them out? I know we were saying hot water versus cold water, but as in terms of length of time in the water?
Well, no. How long?
Well, what did
It's
I
on the
time?
recipe,
I timed
but-
something like about a minute, I think, but less. It's almost, we've sort of, as we've been trialing and erroring, because that's a word, we have found that you almost want to pull them out of the water just before they feel like they're right.
I think we're
so
going to
they still have a bit of
Yes, that's absolutely right, Hayley. I haven't put any sesame seeds in mine, so I'm going to put sesame seeds in mine now.
Okay.
Yeah, so that they still have a little bit of soaking to actually go.
Because if they soak for a bit too long, then they become a bit too sticky and potentially may rip or whatever.
I'm not going to put mint in these.
Okay, you're changing it up.
I know, it's just like so exciting, isn't it? That when you can change your mind halfway through when you're cooking, it's very exciting. Yes, it gets a bit sort of like you get into a bit of a zone though, don't you, as well?
Yeah. Quite therapeutic.
Yeah, I quite like it. All right.
But I was
so
saying to
we are
Mum as
nearly
well
there.
that due to the high veggie content in these, they're quite easy to eat in terms of vegetables. I mean, sometimes if you have a salad, that's a bit boring, or it can be. So if you have your rice paper rolls, I usually have about maybe 2 of these, and I'm usually quite full.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think of how much we've actually put in here, it's heaps.
Yeah, and so if you were to have 2 of these, I'd say that's roughly about 2 to 3 of your 5 servings of veggies for the whole day. So yeah, we've got a
Done
question.
really well. Yep.
No, we don't. Okay, cameraman was lying.
Okay. All right.
Almost
so
done.
we're just doing the final one now, and then we just need to get the sauce out. And I think we should dip it and try it very quickly before the end.
Okay.
And so we're just whizzing up this final one. That's the only thing with these is that once you've got everything prepared, they do take a little. Oh, quite like that one. They do take a little while to put together. But if you've got a friend, then you can do it with a friend, can't you?
Yes.
My friend. All right, we
Do you
just
want me to
need.
take your rice paper roll?
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
Might be stuck to me. All right, so I'll put this over here. Get the board back, and we'll just cut these in half. Some of them in
There's
half.
the
So
long
to
one,
show you, you can get the
Dip.
you can get the dip out. Cut this one because it's closest to the edge. So it's sort of pinging off. So because they're sticky now. So I think they're quite pretty. I think they're very pretty. In fact, not quite, very pretty. And to me, that is a very sort of enticing thing to eat because it looks so good. So
Yes.
what we got? Oh, we haven't got a little dip bowl out, have we?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find a little dip bowl like this.
Oh, there we are.
Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Flustered then. All right, so let's have a little dip and try. And I'm still thinking, we might need a bit more salt in there because we haven't tried that, but we'll give it a go. Bit of salt, bit of
Yum. And I was saying that I
Sour.
also like this as a salad dressing. Is it good? Thank you so much. Is it good?
I can't talk.
That is really good. So, if you make these at home, please do let us know. We would love to see your creations. If you've got any other dip ideas or any other filling ideas, we would love to know. Tag us in it on Facebook or Instagram. Or
double dip.
send us an email. You can double dip if you're with me. I'll let you.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Send us an email with your photos. We'd love to hear about it.
They're absolutely delicious. Give them a go. Really good fun. Thank you so much for watching this week, and we'll see you next week on the Cooks Collective from the Matters of Taste Kitchen.